Hey guys, my name is Ethan, this is Carberra. Welcome to the series where I teach you how to code in Python. Today, we're going to talk about checkpoint number 3. This is the last checkpoint I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to be doing a checkpoint 4 after the rest of this because it's just kind of clearing some extra stuff up, teaching you how to essentially just use Python in the outer world, in the real world. This is kind of the last sort of bit of like common knowledge, I guess, that needs to be tested. And of course, in this last segment, we did try, except, error handling. We did indexes and slices. We did defining functions. We did positional versus keyword arguments. And we did args and quargs. So I would come up with this as a checkpoint. It says a simple calculator. I couldn't really think of what else to call it because it's not really a calculator by definition. But it essentially will test pretty much everything. It doesn't really test the slices as much, but you can experiment with those as you wish to. So the first task is to create a single function that takes an unlimited series of numbers using args, takes an operator as a quarg, for example, add or multiply. So I'm talking like add, subtract, multiply, divide, that sort of thing. You could just use those 4, or you can actually go a bit further and use more if you want. But that is, of course, up to you. It needs to perform the given operation on all the numbers in order. So essentially, if you pass in add as the operator, then it will add all the numbers together. If you pass in multiply, it will multiply all the numbers together. If you pass in divide, it will divide all the numbers, etc., etc. So it's just doing one operation on a series of numbers rather than doing more complex things. Of course, you could expand to do more complex things if you want. But yeah, and then you need to return the result out of that function as well. So the second thing is to take an input like add 3, 5, 7 or something like that. You can do like 3 plus 5 plus 7 if you want to do a more complex calculator. You can either do this using Python's input keyword, or if you're feeling adventurous, you can look up sys.argv and have a look at that and actually be able to take the commands or be able to take the arguments on the actual command line. It's something I've not taught yet. I might do that in the intermediate section, but you can look up that if you want. So number 3 is to validate that the operator is valid. So validate that it is one of a certain number of things, and that all the numbers are actually numbers. So say if you did like add test foo bar, then that would error. And then you need to run it all through the function and output the result to the terminal. And then finally allow the user to run the program again without having to rerun the script. So that is more like the while true thing that we were talking about before. I've added a bit more in here because it's always good to know about that. It's always good for UX and stuff, which is user experience for those of you that hadn't heard the term before. The number 3 is more the try, except, error handling. So I would expect that you would combine that with the while true to create like a seamless thing that kind of loops it back to the start and then takes another input if it's invalid. I think I actually demonstrated that in was it the try except video? It might have been. It probably was actually. All right, sorry about that. Someone's car alarm went off. That was unexpected. But yeah, that is the simple thing, or the simple quote-unquote calculator that I want you to do. Obviously, there are other exercises you can use. I've just done these exercises in the order that I've done them because of the way that I've ordered the series. But of course, it's always good to look around on the internet and find some different stuff. Making a random number generator is always a good thing, but it wasn't really necessary for what I was teaching here. But yeah, if you're liking the series so far, and do consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss out on the final 5 videos that we're going to be doing in the basic series, which talk more about file I/O and using libraries and stuff. If you are really liking the series, then consider supporting me on Patreon. You don't have to, of course, but a really cool thing of you to do. It will help me keep motivated to make stuff, and it will show that you really love the stuff. Although, to be fair, you just watching it is enough for me. If that's all you can do, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, that's all I've got for this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, or you can join the Discord server using the link in the description. While you're down there, I have all my socials, so you can have a look at that. I've already done the subscribe and the Patreon spiel, so I'm not going to do that again, but I am going to thank my patrons for being the awesome patrons that they are. And I'll see you next time where we tackle some file I/O stuff. So we're going to be reading from files and writing to them. So I'll see you for that.